seatbelt? I can't see it. No. You're good on your seatbelt.
All right, more on that at the end of this episode. So where are we and what are we doing? We are at the Race World Offshore World Championships in Key West in 2021, and it is an epic weekend. As you guys can see, we cover one heck of a scary boat crash, we cover multiple world champions, and we're going to cover the nightlife of Key West. What is it like to be in Key West on this most amazing weekend? As you guys know in all these videos, I tell a story. And this story starts about, 3 or 4 days before when we were in Big Pine Key, Florida. In short, we basically went all the way to Miami in our boat, joined the FPC boating club, and boated all the way down from Miami to Key West in our boats. I bring this up because you boaters out there will know outboards haven't always been super reliable. But this whole trip ended up being over 1,000 miles. And that's what's amazing about this, you guys. Technology has changed. This boat setup and these outboards are super reliable, and it allows us to travel huge distances at very fast speeds and actually make the weekend without breaking down. It's just awesome. Throughout the evolution of this channel, our fans have asked us to get just a little bit more detail. So here you go. We are driving an MTI 390X. This is considered one of the world's fastest outboard cabs, and it uses the Mercury 450R. It is the lightest power-to-weight ratio of any production outboard ever made, and that combination of weight to power is essential for these boats. To make things even more amazing, this Mercury has been super reliable for us. We've got over 10,000 miles on these motors, and yes, these miles aren't exactly friendly to the motors or the boat. Go ahead and comment below if you like the extra detail, or just give us a thumbs up and subscribe. So why are we doing all this? We're doing this because there's an amazing week set up down in Key West that includes the FPC, the Florida Power Boating Club, coming down for the Key West Race World Championship weekend. It's basically 5 days of crazy-ass high-speed and luxury boating smashed all together in one awesome weekend down in Key West. So why wouldn't you make it? So without further ado, this is our first day in Key West after a couple of days of, really fast boating to get down here. Being local to the area, we're asked a ton of times, hey, how do we get to Key West in the boat? Do we come in from the north or the south? And simply put, it all depends on weather. It depends where that wind's blowing from. If it's an easterly like it was that day, we do like to come in from the north. It's buffeted a little bit better, and it's got a great pathway in. It's a curvy path, and unlike the mangroves up north, it's wide open, so you can actually see if there's other boat traffic. If you pay attention to the channel markers and are just really observant to the boating traffic around you, you can enjoy these turns in this channel. Just be careful because the channel has edges, and outside those edges, it's all coral that's just sitting under the water 6 inches to a foot. And remember, when in doubt, just look at the cranes. If they're floating, you're all set. If they're standing, you're screwed. And yes, knowing this has actually saved my ass several times. If you've got no history in this back channel, just slow down and follow the channel markers until you know the channel. So that's how you get to Key West from the north side. Once we were there, we went to the Conch Republic, which was the center hub for the FPC operations. It's also a really cool place to eat and a historical part of the waterfront. Unfortunately, you can't fly drones in Key West because of the airport, so I hope you guys are okay with this, Google 3D map operation. Here we are,
Made it. Key West.
the Conch Republic. Look at that. It's one of the coolest spots in Key West. I think it's like destination number 1. We've got some really cool boats already showing up, and now it's dinner time. So we're gonna have a bunch of cool. God, I want to punch myself in the face. I cannot believe I just did an interview holding a beer can. It looks so unclassy, sends the wrong message. No, I don't boat and drink. Somebody just handed me a beer at the end of the dock as I got off my boat. But we keep it real, so we'll keep it in here. Lesson learned. Once our boat is snug as a bug in a raft, we button it up for the night and head over to our hotel, where things aren't exactly what we expected them to be. We're not a channel about giving bad reviews, but just call ahead and make sure they haven't sold the room out from under you. We ended up losing 1 night out of 3 nights, which made us actually stay at a friend's house where we most conveniently had breakfast in bed. Well, because the bed was in the kitchen. But we wouldn't have had it any other way. Breakfast in bed, honey?
Yes, please.
And my wife Sarah has to be the perfect house guest and wash her own dishes, so she refused to give up her plate until Lisa stole it from her. Good for Lisa.
No, no. Lisa, I'm not done yet.
Oh my god.
You know, and I guess that's a perfect lesson right there. It's really about the unexpected things that pop up through these adventures that make them most rewarding. Alright, we were a little sidetracked there. Let's get back to the races. Because we don't have a ton of time to cover every single race, I'm really just going to focus on the highlights of the week. And the first one is this really amazing boat crash, where one boat actually got speared by another one. I didn't get great footage of it, but as he comes into the pit area, you can see there's a massive hole in this cat, and that was caused from another cat sponson spearing him in the corner. Now what's cool about this scene is he had to drive around for about 10 to 15 minutes and stay on plane so he didn't sink, while they got the crane ready to yank him out of the water. And it was pretty cool and urgent and something you don't see in other types of racing. Like, hey, just keep the car running so you don't sink. So that's a good captain right there, a good pilot right there. He's staying on plane to keep the boat from sinking and filling with water. So all he's doing right now is just circling this whole basin to try to stay on plane. When he comes back around, I'm gonna try to get some good footage of the hole inside the boat. It's ridiculous. Oh, look at that. You know, it's high performance boats just ripping across the water, coming into a single turn altogether. They're gonna be more than trading paint. They're gonna be busting up carbon. Maybe it's called stuffing carbon. That's amazing. And he's a good driver to keep this up on plane right now, because if it was not on plane, he'd be sinking. To see as you can see if he gets lower in the water and see how it goes here. Look at that. Look at that. That's seriously speared. And as you can see, being a smart race boat team pays off. These guys make it to the crane without sinking. Excellent job, Team 33, Play Trades. And my favorite class to watch in all of boat racing is definitely the super stock. These guys are crazy. They're right on the edge. There's a ton of them out there, and usually they're flipping over in some way. There's a super competitive class, and they are right on the edge every single race. So as in all of my videos, this is time for me to zip it, and let's just watch these boats do what they do best. And that's fly on the water. It's all on this turn. This turn is ugly. I've said it before, but I have to say it again. We have the best fans on earth. It's always awesome meeting new people, learning their stories, and learning how they like to live. And this was a perfect example of that.
All right, so here we are. This is the outermost or westernmost part of Key West, and this is the wall.
I see you guys on YouTube all the time.
Thank you, man.
That's a screaming MTI, man.
Thank you.
And
We love it.
She drives better than you.
Absolutely, she does.
The redheads are way better drivers.
I'm focused. I'm more focused.
I enjoy your videos. When you're crewing on that boat, doing all the crew duties, amazing.
Thank you.
With the lines, with everything. You're so good at what you do.
I try. I
I'm
like to
impressed.
have
I tell these guys all the time, they got to tune
I
in.
like to run a tight
That
ship.
MTI he's got, it's brutal. And he's always in front of the pack. He can't stand to have somebody.
He's like you up on a chest stand.
Yeah.
Always out front.
Back when I used to race boats, I enjoyed that. Enjoyed watching their stuff. I just happened to catch your hair, and I saw him because he's a big dude. I know that. That's why I went, hey. But
It's awesome. So this is what it's about in Key West. You know, you just meet new people. Everyone's having a good time. One of the things I realized with this town and this event is everyone's really happy. They just are. And it's just a different type. You know?
Well, there's a reason I put that in there. And here's why. I feel like I've lost a little bit of faith in what our country's becoming. And it's people like this that restore that faith. And I know that sounds cliche, but I honest to God feel that way. So thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Not for your food or the best seats in the house, but for restoring our faith in who we are. So I've been around some of the most badass motorsporting events on earth. And I have to say, nothing compares to being 100 feet from a Super Cat doing 170 miles an hour with 3,000 horsepower. It is just unbelievable. They're decking it out for the last lap. That is freaking intense. Helicopters everywhere. And here comes another helicopter. I didn't even know. Look, here's another boat. This Canadian home's ripping on about 100. I don't know. This is awesome. This is racing. You don't get to see a NASCAR shit. You're part of the race. Just don't get to see NASCAR. It's just different. Go to every NASCAR race you want and you'll have fun. But this is another whole level to take out. Well, there you have it. If you're a Motorhead fan and you haven't made it to an offshore boat race yet, you have to. It'll blow your mind. All right, so what does it actually take to race a boat, and what does it actually feel like to be in a boat? Let's go talk to two-time reigning world champion Shaun Torrente and find out. And I'm not sure if it's more dangerous to be in a boat with Shaun Torrente or hitching a ride back to the pits.
By the Fern, an interview by the Fern. This is an interview by the golf cart.
By the golf cart, all right. So that's where we're at. So now we're riding on a golf cart with way too many friggin' people. We just pulled an epic wheelie and almost crashed. It's the most dangerous thing I've done today. I don't care how bad the day is, you smile, do something even more dangerous, because that's how to live.
That's a button, yeah! I don't know what these guys are doing. So here's the thing, dude. Nobody really, I mean, I've been boating my whole life and I have no idea what it's like to be in a boat wreck.
Yeah.
How many boat wrecks have you been in?
More than I can count. And honestly, I probably have too many concussions to remember them, is the problem.
Between the two of them there, as you can see, they got so close together because of the turbulence and at 150 odd mile an hour.
They touch canopies and over they go. Shaun Torrente is the new UIM Formula One H2O World Champion for 2018.
You gotta get the boat set and feel solid in the water. If you're not connected to the water in the corner, you're gonna slide sideways just like we did and catch an edge.
Yep.
And he immediately put wheel in it to turn it, and I went, no, and it was too late.
Too late. These motors have been upside down in salt water.
Hold on, we're getting parts still to
All right,
fix
dude.
the boat.
No, that's it.
GB, thanks.
So, I mean,
hey,
that,
B-Rad,
that's what it's about.
B-Rad, can you go grab it from Gary? He's pulling up to the crane.
That's race day.
He's
Race
pulling
day,
up
we're
to the
doing an
crane, so you
interview.
got
It's
time.
about parts. It's about boom, boom, boom. And it's funny because I've raced too. Not in boating, but other sports. And I'm always like a freak about it. Like my anxiety's through the roof.
The nose always wants to fly, so you're always controlling it with the trim. You got to keep that nose level. Everybody thinks a cat or a tunnel boat should be running like this. It should not. It should run level. If it runs level, it's fast.
Yep.
The video we took when we stayed at your house a few months ago, when I took
Yep.
from your house, from our
The best
boat,
video of my 390 ever.
With my daughter.
Yeah.
That's my
we
daughter
got
taking
20,000
the-
miles on it, and
Yeah.
your daughter
That's
got by
correct.
far the best video. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're rolling 120, you come rolling by us at near 130, and we video you, and the boat is level and off the water. That's what the same thing we want.
Yeah. And it feels good. It feels natural.
Correct. I got out of the boat, I was still dry, pulled the phone out of my pocket, I text her, I said, we're good, don't worry about it. She's like, okay, good. And this is how you know she's a race wife. Good. How bad is the boat damaged? Are you going to be able to fix it? It wasn't even back to the crane yet.
All right, so do you guys remember who Chris Farley is?
Oh, Jesus. Fat guy in a little
jacket.
Is it coat or jacket?
I'm pretty sure it's jacket.
Oh, when I run your 390 and set it up for you, I have to put cushions under me so I can see over the dash. So, whatever. Come on. Oh, you don't fit.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Dude, I can do this. Can we do this?
Yeah, we can do this. But that's an escape hatch. That's actually how we got out of the boat.
You had footprints on the windshield.
Yeah, we did. It's usually not the plan, but we have footprints on the windshield.
So Eric and Shaun were upside down.
Yeah.
So imagine being upside down. You got to undo your harness and then gravity takes over and you pretty much crank your head here.
You just fall into the side of the boat. Yeah.
And then it's a scramble because you guys, the boat is sinking.
Correct. So he was upside down here, steering wheel was in the way. He was kind of between this and this.
You got a red, looks like a kill switch. What is that?
No, that's nitrous, pal. When
That
we
is
need to
not-
make the pass, we hit the nitrous, but don't tell the officials. No, I'm just playing. That's push to talk.
This is not pretty cool. This is really, really cool. And this is boating. And this is how I like to live. All right, so we got to go over there to the rock wall to do some filming. Do you guys have, how are we going to get there? Do you guys have anything?
I have a mean machine right here. Take my scooter. 50 cc's of goodness.
You're saying there's a chance.
270 pounds. Forward, sorry, forward.
This is,
Come on, forward. Oh, what are we doing here? Yes. No, this is it right here. This is first class.
what the f, Shaun? God damn it. Is this as fast as this goes?
With you on it.
What the fuck, Shaun? Good,
You're a horrible back here. You're cleaning everything.
good luck.
Bye, Hal.
All right, with that incredibly professional interview out of the way, let's move to the nightlife of Key West. We don't have a ton of time to go over this, so it's basically going to be some quick clips, but rest assured, if you come to Key West, you will have a fantastic time at night. It might be hard to believe, but I equivalent Duval Street in Key West to a much more happy, more safe, more festive Bourbon Street of New Orleans. Sorry, New Orleans, it's just my opinion. All right, I know I'm gonna have a ton of people disagree with me on this one, but you know what? This is my opinion. It's how I feel. The best place, the number one place to actually visit at night in Key West to me is Rick's, and it's to watch the band The Dirtbags. These guys are just awesome. They're seasoned musicians. They know what they're doing. They play songs. Every single song they play, you know, and you will dance to, and it's just an awesome time. You do have places like Irish Kevin's and Sloppy Joe's, which are great places. You have strip clubs. You have all different kinds of eateries and foods, and they're all awesome too. But to me, it's all about this one party atmosphere in Dirty Harry's in the Rick's Grotto. Once you go there, you'll be going back there over and over and over again, and you will have a blast. Well, as you can see, if you like music, you will love Key West. Key West is all about music. It's all about having a good time and trying not to stay sober. And finally, in Key West, you never know what you're going to stumble into. We met a guy named Ross who's a huge fan of the channel, and he ended up being the best friend of John Ruiz, who is the new owner of Cigarette Boats. So, before you know it, we were invited on to this Mega-Yacht party. I might have been so excited to get on the boat, well, I kind of forgot to take my shoes off and left my wife behind. Yeah, real classy. And coming from humble beginnings, it was one hell of an eye-opener, and yeah, I was blown away. Greatest things about having this channel is meeting new people and listening to their amazing story. And one of those stories is of John Ruiz, who himself also came from humble beginnings, is an innovator, and built an incredible business. It was an absolute pleasure for me and my wife to hang out with him, his friends, and his family as they celebrated the new ownership of Cigarette Boats. But what struck me most about John Ruiz is that he was extremely humble. And I think we can all learn from that. Especially me. So thank you, John Ruiz and the Cigarette Group, for that, and thank you, Russ, for inviting us. We had a blast. All right, now it's back to the races, just like it was in real life down in Key West, and that's what made it so cool. It was races, and a little bit of partying, hanging out with friends, and then it was going out on your pleasure boats, back to the races. Everything was just smashed together on one massive weekend of awesomeness.
Give me a check test.
Check test 1, 2.
And then we're gonna walk around this and kind of have a higher angle.
Now I introduce you to 25-year-old MTI racer Taylor Scism, who's also world champion. And she happens to be the youngest female offshore raceboat champion in the world. Having 2 daughters myself, this is such an amazing story to me. I couldn't be more proud of Taylor and the MTI family, Randy, and their mom, Sherelle.
We've got our rear view side cameras as well as front and rear. Our aims for data collection, We've actually got 2 sets of throttles, so if you're ever running the boat by yourself, not in a race, but in testing or anything, you can do that. We've got our tunnel tab right here. That'll be the switch on this one. And of course, we have phone chargers, because you gotta always have your communication charged. Everything's Bluetooth through our phones and our helmets, so that's how we communicate with everyone on land and our crew chief.
John's not super small either, right?
I'm pretty small, but you can see the difference in the size.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. This feels like a spaceship. This is incredible in here. It's kind of tight in here, but it needs to be, right?
Right. And honestly, the visibility, once you get going, this is all you need to see.
Yeah. So you got a tilt wheel here.
Yep. Right here. Just tilt it on down. That's where I run it at. I've got buttons right here for push to talk for race control and push up for our tunnel tab. So you never want to go in a corner with your tunnel tab down. So you just hold that down. And you can, I'm up only. He's got up and down.
Do you guys see this? So she's literally using her hands to steer the boat, but also her feet to do tunnel tab operation and push to talk.
Yes.
So it's full on a lot to handle.
It is.
So you're 25 years old.
Yes.
You and your dad have put together an amazing company. You're following in his footsteps from being also a world champion.
Absolutely.
So you're developing a 450 class that's never been done.
Yes.
Mercury has made an amazing 450 motor.
Absolutely.
Literally paving the way for the 450 class.
Yes. So this is kind of something Mercury has been working with us on to kind of see how their product holds up in these extreme conditions. But one thing we really hadn't talked about or really realized until we were almost finished with today's race is that we're one of the only classes that finished every single race we went to. We never broke down, and we're really excited about that, to be able to have completed every single race we started this season.
And for those of you that don't boat, that's mind-blowing. To race it for a whole season and not have a mechanical issue. I mean, that there is the new high bar. So next year, what do we have in store?
Yes, so this boat's actually sold, so we'll be going to its new owner here in a couple weeks. And we've got a new one being built. So we're tooling up a whole new deck for our race boats. And we're really excited to have a full, larger MTI team coming into next season, as well as some of our competitors coming out here and really getting out in the course and seeing what we can do. I think we'll probably have 3 MTIs that will be fully racing and some that will might come to a race or 2.
Sure.
And then probably 2 or 3 from other manufacturers.
And you're going to do it, you're going to be right here next year doing the same thing? We're
Yes.
looking for number 2?
Yes.
Awesome.
Number 2.
Thank you so much, T, for giving our audience an amazing insight to what you do. It's just an amazing story. So we will, on this channel, be showing you guys more of what they do at MTI Racing. Boat safe, boat happy, over and out. All right, this is one of the longest videos I've made, but it's just all gonna fit in here. I'm not doing another episode on this. It's just, I just don't have enough time. I have a full-time job. So we're gonna end it here with the firm race team's crash with the Garcia brothers. I'm gonna roll it real time, how it actually happened. I'm not gonna sensationalize it with a bunch of fluff, and you guys are gonna see what it's like to sit upside down in a boat that's sinking 2 to 3 minutes before they were able to get out. It's ridiculously awesome footage.
We're good, I promise we're good. Just get out, I promise I'm good.
Hey, take out the helmet. Take out the helmet.
Undo my seatbelt, I can't see it.
No.
You're good on your seatbelt. Again?
Copy that. Towboat, get down
Push the swing on.
Towboat inland, on scene. Race control, medics, rescue corps, boat divers in the water, and the harbor clerk, boat divers in the water.
That was intense. And that's boat racing. Can turn into life and death in a second. In order to win a race, these boat racers always have to be on the edge. And that's what makes it so, well, dangerous at times. But they have amazing rescue divers and rescue people. You'll see these divers jump right into the water. Now, the hydraulics had closed the door. The force of the water pushing up on the hull closed that door. And Richard could not get out just by himself. It took the combined force of the divers pulling down the door, Julian and Richard pushing down the door to open that door and get them out safely. So I'd like to call out and thank these rescue divers and everybody involved in the safety for this race. You guys risk your own lives when you help save these racers. So thank you guys so much for what you do. What an amazing adventure this week has been down in Key West. We've met so many incredible people. We've had such an incredible experience, and we've learned a little bit more on how to live. I'd like to thank all the rescue divers and the safety people involved in this week. I'd also like to thank the firm racing team, the Garcia brothers and Pete Rivero, for passing on that amazing footage. I'd also like to dedicate this whole video to Rey Marino. You will be missed, my friend.
Swayed, we faced our fears, watched the shadows fade, our visions clear, focus is locked on tight. Invincible, you can't knock us, untouchable, you can't stop us, we chase the stars, gonna reach out till they're in our grasp. Impossible, but it's nothing, unstoppable, we ain't bluffing. This far and there ain't no way
You guys ordered me a painkiller?
Pirate drinks.
All right, you guys, there you have it. That was an incredible night on the town in Key West. And for me, I think Key West is one of the most fun towns you can be in at night. It's just got a really cool vibe.
Whether it's night or day, it's an incredible town, and this is how we live. If you see this sticker out and about in Key West, tag us on your post, and we'll send you some free swag.
Invincible, you can't knock us. Untouchable, you can't stop us. We chase the stars, gonna reach out till they're in our best. Impossible, but it's nothing. Unstoppable, we ain't bluffing. We come this far and there ain't no way we're backing down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are untouchable. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We never fade, we never fall. 'Cause we'll be the last one standing. No chance that we'll be crash landing. And we're on fire as they all go down in flames. And still the burning remains.
All right, so what's coming up next? We have the second annual 2022 4x4. What that is 4 fun runs in 4 consecutive days on the southern west coast of Florida, and it is epic. It's going to be over 1,000 miles for us because we're leaving from Big Pine. No trailer, no truck. We're just going to drive our boat all the way up there, basically to the mid-coast of Florida. So stay tuned for that, you guys. It's called the 4x4. Hope to see you guys there. Boat safe, boat happy. Over and out.
We never fade, we never fall. This is our year. We can't stop it. Follow these mountains one by one. This is our year. We can't stop it. Follow these mountains one by one. This is our year. We can't stop it. We'll move these mountains one by one.
Nikki's gonna be so mad at you.
Gonna move these mountains